Hello and welcome to the Newport Gulls 15th Anniversary Hot Stove Dinner and Auction Family Reunion. I'm Nick Lima.
And I'm Hillary Costa. We're looking forward to a great night here. Generations of players, personnel, staff coming together here to remember the Newport Gulls over the last 15 years.
This organization over the last decade and a half has really become a true family, and tonight we celebrate that as part of a family reunion, Hillary, and looking forward to a great evening.
You know, it's great to look back and remember, and all of these players tonight, the Gulls have touched them in a way that they'll never forget. They remember it as the best summer of their lives, and the summer that contributed to them not only becoming the best ball player that they can be, but the best man that they could be.
The Gulls have had unprecedented success on the field here in the NECBL, winning 6 NECBL championships over the last 15 years, but what really is special about this organization, I think, is the family bonds that have been built between host families and players, between staff, volunteers, sponsors, front office personnel, coaches. There's just so many people that have made Newport Gulls baseball possible, and really they're going to share those memories here tonight and hopefully make some more new ones.
And you know, Nick, it's not just about on the field, it's about those traditions off the field, the tradition of what a Gull player is and who they look for when they recruit for the team, the kind of host families we have, the volunteer spirit, some of our volunteers spanning across the entirety of those 15 years, which we'll touch upon here tonight.
Stay tuned, folks. We have a great evening ahead. We have dozens of alumni, plus some current Newport Gulls as well. The entire 2015 team is scheduled to be here for tonight's special gala event. For some great hot stove auction items as well. The Gulls have always had a hot stove auction fundraiser in the winter. Well, for the first time ever, we're attempting it here in the summer, and already this is going to be a pretty good turnout here tonight for the special gala event to not only raise money for the Gulls organization, but to do what the Gulls have always done, and that's bring people together. Stay tuned. We'll have much more to come next. Welcome back here to the Newport Gulls Hot Stove Dinner and Auction and Family Reunion. Nick Lima, Hillary Costa, now joined by, for really the first time ever, I think, all at once, the entirety of the Newport Gulls coaching staff, hitting coach Al Laver, manager Mike Coombs, and pitching coach Kevin Long. Thank you all for joining us here, coaches, and enjoying this great night here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate being here.
For all of you, this is multiple years now in Newport. Coach Coombs, you go back to 2005 season, came on as assistant coach and very quickly became the manager. Coach Leva, Coach Long, you both joined the organization in 2011 and have both had prior experience in the NECBL. What has kept you all coming back year after year? We'll just start with Coach Long.
Well, Mike tends to take us out to dinner all the time, so heck, I'm always up for a good meal. But
No. I have a very small wallet, and I have to take care of that wallet, and we have to find a sponsor.
we get a sponsor,
We get a
exactly.
sponsor to try to take us out for dinner, which has been very, very fortunate to find that sponsor every time. But go ahead, Al. Tell them Mike.
You know, it's you know what? It's just, you know, it starts at the top. It starts with Coach Coombs. He allows, you know, Kevin and I to do our job, and he lets us go, you know, and you know, of course we talk everything with him, but when it's all said and done, he lets us do our thing, and I think that's why the three of us get along so well. So it makes it real nice. Makes it a nice summer.
You know, when you ask that question, the first thing that comes to my mind is that, you know, Al and I coached against Mike, okay? And when I had the opportunity to come here and work with Mike and work with Al, because we all coached against one another, I said, wow, this is pretty special for me, you know, as a coach. But, you know, to be involved in this organization and be around the players that we're around, I mean, it makes it super special. So, you know, every time I come back here, every year I come back, I feel very blessed and very fortunate, you know, and you know, the Gulls organization and Chuck have been fantastic to all of us.
Hey, I've been here since '05, and my best hitting coach sitting to my left, my best pitching coach sitting to my right.
What makes this organization different from any other summer collegiate organization? What makes it so special? What's about it?
You know, I mean, I've been in several organizations around here, and you know, from the media, from the president, from the GM, I mean, it's all first class. I mean, it's just unbelievable. There's no, you know, everybody asks me, you know, what do you do in Newport, Rhode Island? I go, there's no better place to be in Newport, Rhode Island than playing for the Gulls. I tell everybody that I'm very fortunate. Chuck could have anybody he wants, and for some reason, you know, he wants me to come back, and I feel very fortunate. But it's just a great organization, just the fans, you know, everybody, the interns, they take pride in the orange and, you know, in the orange and royal. They really do.
You know, Chuck brings this up all the time. You know, as a human being, you want to be with your family, and you know, when you come back to Newport, you know, you're with your family, and that's what makes it special. Not just some of the time, but all the time. You know, the good and the bad, and you know, Chuck brings that up all the time, and it's true. You know, like tonight. You know, it's pretty special, and it's something I'll always remember.
What would you say, just comment on the kind of players that Chuck's always able to bring in for the team. He brings in real gentlemen on and off the field. I know when I was with the team, I just thought that these guys were mature beyond their years, they're focused, they know why they're here and what they're meant to do. Just talk a little bit about, you know, the players you've gotten to work with.
Go ahead.
You know, Chuck, he does his research. I mean, not only is he getting some of the best athletes in the country, but he really looks at character, and that means a lot to Chuck, and that's why it's such a family organization. I mean, I coach back home in California, and Kyle Hanker, who was here, I don't know what years he was here, but he still talks about it. I think he was here probably 8-9 years ago, and he goes, there's no better place to play in the summertime than Newport, Rhode Island. And I hear it from other guys that have gone on to the Cape, gone on to other organizations. They want to come back and play for Newport Gulls.
You know, the players, you know, like Al said, you know, Chuck does his research, and he locates and brings in guys of high character, intelligent, guys that want to be students of the game, and guys that love the game, and guys that are good teammates. You know, and when you bring that chemistry in, it becomes a special mix. And game by game by game, not only do they become better ball players, they become very close and part of the family. So there you go. Chuck knows how to mix it.
I'll put it this way. When I was sitting at the Hall of Fame last year, and Danny Otero got up to speak because he's went into the Newport Gull Hall of Fame. The first thing he did was look at me, and he goes, "You're a good coach, but look what you had." And everybody cracked up laughing because they were major league pitchers, infielders. So Chuck and Chris go out, they get the horses, he fine-tunes them, I just pull a Pete Rose and bet on them. No, just kidding. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, Pete. You are going to the Hall of Fame one day, though.
Exactly.
But I just try to stay out of the way. I let him coach because everything I've heard out of his mouth is correct. Even after 5 beers, it's still correct. This guy right here, I go to the bullpen, I'll watch his pitchers, and I'll see what Kevin's doing. I may offer something, and the best thing about him is he doesn't shoo it away or kick it to the curb. I don't know if he does later on, but right then and there, he'll incorporate it and say, "That's a good thought, I love that. That's a good idea. I really like that." So, I mean, I trust him, and the whole deal is a trust. It's like a marriage.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been married once, I think, twice. Anyways, 3 times a lady. And it's trust. And I trust these guys, so does Chuck. And you put them in this venue right here, and these college kids coming back, you got pro experience, you got college experience, you got all this experience, a wealth of knowledge. We don't bring them in here and just change them. We bring them in here and let them be successful. If they need a little help here and there with whatever, then these guys, we do it.
How important would you say events like this are to have players from all generations of Gulls, from current to the past, come together and meet like this?
Well, the community you know, they should have done this maybe in 2010 also. But Chuck has been so busy and the organization's busy, you know, and they really have got to plan it and get it to where it is right now. And when these other players want to come back, they want to donate not only their time, but maybe monetarily to help this program grow, and stay at the level that it is. You don't find that in any other team. You don't even find that, I don't think, out in the Cape.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the Cape is the Cape, but this right here is a team that, organization that could be in the Cape.
For you three, you talked about what keeps you coming back, but what do you get out of this for the fun element? It's not just a job in the summer. It's fun. It's coming to Newport. I mean, that's what everybody wants to do here in this league. Newport's the place to be. But for you three as coaches, what's the fun part for you? Is it game night? Is it talking to the players? Is it the playoff run? What do you get out of this for fun?
You know, for me, it's like it starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I get to work with our hitters on an individual basis. I get to work with maybe 3 hitters at a time. And for me, that's the fun part. I mean, these guys that Chuck gets and Chris Patsos get, they're very good players. And they're listening to Al Leyva. And it's like, you know, I mean, I'm not reinventing, you know, the wheel here. And I still get texts, I still get calls, even to this day, of players that in the back, Coach, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, what can you do? And so that, for me, that's why I come back. I mean, these guys can't get enough of me, and it just thrills me. It thrills me to death. I'm very lucky, very lucky.
For me, there's 3 things why I come back here. 22 Bowens, Black Pearl, in the cookhouse. Go ahead, it's your turn.
I'll add on, you know, it's the same thing for me with the pitchers, as Al talked about with the hitters. But to me, there's one special thing that they haven't mentioned is the friendship that we have together. And, you know, it's been a tough year for Al this year, you know. And, you know, Al went through, you know, some personal stuff this year. And it's really motivated me, and it's really touched me to know that I can be with him this year in a special way. And this is, to me, this is the most special year that we've been together. In the 5 years that we've been together is this year, because Al's here.
You know, I think when we talk about this family reunion event and the Newport Gulls family, and I think you three as coaching staff epitomize that.
Yeah, yeah. There's no other 3 in the league that can touch, or these 2 right here, because they're not assistant coaches, they're head coaches. We're all associate head coaches, because if I have to leave or not be here, I wasn't here the first game of the season. Boom, someone told me, they go, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to call him? Are you going to run the show? I go, no. He's got the pitching, he's got everything else, and let's go. It'll work. I don't have to be there to make it work. And it's an honor, and that's in that bio thing. Open that book up. You can open that book up, Nick. And in that book, it says it's an honor and a privilege to be able to be in Newport to coach these college baseball players and help them to get to the next level.
Newport Gulls coaching staff, Kevin Long, Mike Coombs, Al Leyva, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back at Cardines Field next week.
And one thing, I miss these 2.
Yes, we
do. We miss
yes.
these 2 because without them, we wouldn't be doing this right now.
It's
and
Lima
Tommy,
time.
And Tommy, give us a, yep.
Yo,
there you go,
Tommy!
Okay, so it all starts with you guys too, and we appreciate,
we really
give them a golf clap.
The golf
Thank
club.
you so much for everything that you have done.
Thank you, Coach.
And keep making those sandwiches.
Panini Genie.
Panini Genie right there. That's my man.
Coach and Skip, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and we'll continue next here with coverage of the Newport Gulls Hot Stove Dinner and Auction and Family Reunion.
Welcome back to the 2015 Newport Gulls Family Reunion Weekend. I'm Blair Schneider here with Alexa Schola, Mike Bergeron, Greg Fader and Rusty Begno. Alexa, go ahead.
Thank you, Blair. So guys, how did you become a part of the Newport Gulls? Describe the process.
Well, I actually went to high school here, and so I knew Chuck, Chris, Mark, before the Gulls were even in Newport. And so after 1 year of being in Florida playing college ball, the Gulls came to Newport, and somehow they let me play on the team, made it work. That was kind of how I got in.
Very nice. And what about you?
Same as me, yeah. Just I was the local guy as well. Just grew up playing Babe Ruth and American Legion with Chris as a coach and a mentor, and Chuck as a summer league coach. So it was easy for, I think, Mike and I. The more interesting story, I think, would be to have someone from out of town.
I'm not local, but I'm from right up the road in Louisiana, so it's not that far. No, seriously, I got lucky, really, I did. I had a teammate from McNeese State that played here in 2001 with these guys, and he called Chuck and said, Chuck, you know, if you need a pitcher, I got a guy for you. And kind of took off from there, and so I was able to come down here the next year and stay with the same host family and enjoy everything Newport had to offer. So I was fortunate that he recommended me out of the other guys on our team to come up here, and you know that everything else worked out, you know, the best way possible. So
very nice.
Do you guys have a favorite memory from your time in Newport? Something that really stood out to you?
A lot of them, but
yeah, I mean the whole experience as a whole is memorable. I can't honestly pinpoint one thing, but obviously, you know, you look 14 years later, here we are hanging out. So it's really the experience for me, and I'm sure for these guys as well. Maybe something sticks out for you guys.
I don't know. There's so many, like Mike said, we reminisce, and we were doing it last night at the game, and so many incredible moments. It's jam-packed into 2 months, and for Mike and I, fortunately, for 2 years, it was really, really special. Some of the most memorable summers, for sure, of my life. But I'll always remember the time when Vito stepped to the plate with bases loaded. We're down 4. Were we down 4? And Rusty said, right? What'd you say? Go for it. Go for it. He remembers it.
He did everything we needed the whole year. And it didn't matter what the game was, the situation was for him. If we needed a hit, he got it. If we needed a double, he got it. If we needed a bomb, he hit it. It was, I don't know, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Like on command hitting home runs, he was pretty special. So were these guys. These guys were our 1 and 2 though. I mean, just shut down 1 and 2 starters. So like and I was a catcher. I didn't play every day, but it was just really special watching these guys mature every day and show like who they really were. Because summer ball is all about just playing. It's fun. It's like you go back to being a kid and just get out there and play baseball and have fun. So it's a good time. Yeah.
So it seemed you guys really developed strong bonds with each other. Yeah. Has it been difficult keeping in touch with each other after you've played?
I think maybe immediately after, a little bit. Definitely. I think with social media and some of those things that have come out, believe it or not, was there Facebook when we played?
Absolutely
no.
Absolutely.
You're not Facebook friends?
We barely had,
of course, no.
Oh, okay.
But like at the time,
we barely had slow dial-up
right.
internet when we played. I mean, I remember we got on the internet maybe once a week if you were lucky with the host family. I mean, it was brand new. So
it wasn't like now where you're like all the time connected.
And now, so now we, like Mike said, it was tough at the beginning, but now it's easy.
Yeah.
You know, and it has as many disadvantages as social media has. It's a great thing, and it's a great tool. And it's gotten us in touch with everybody again.
Definitely.
You can see pictures of his 3 girls and of Greg's girls and know what's going on and how they're doing. Even if you don't talk to them, you know what's happening and you keep up with them. And so it's been great.
And you guys played with the Gulls in 2002, which is when the organization was still relatively new. Talking to current players or players from the more current years, how is it to see how far the organization has developed in the past 15 years?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm looking at this right here. You guys got lights on us, cameras. I mean, this dinner and the fact that they've been consistent with it. I know a lot goes in. I got a business that I run, and I know what goes into putting an organization together, and it's phenomenal. I mean, these guys have sacrificed, the ownership has sacrificed a lot to provide these experiences for us. But it's leaps and bounds where I think it probably should be.
It's a pride thing. I think it makes you proud to know that today it is as big as it is, and they're doing as well as they are. To know, like, wow, I had a chance to play for them for 1 year. You know, these guys got to play twice, win 2 championships. It's special, and it really is. And to see where Chuck and the rest of the ownership have taken it, it's phenomenal.
I just, again, very proud. This is my hometown, so it's special in that sense, but it's, I think those 4 or 5 owners bleed baseball, and their passion is very apparent, and, you know, there's not many ownership teams or, you know, organizations, especially in summer baseball, where this type of things happens, and it continues to happen, and the success is there. And Chuck was rattling off these stats last night that were mind-blowing. I mean, you kind of get lost in a lot of it, but it was pretty special. And for us, you know, now to come back and be together and see our bat boy, who was 7 on the field last night playing second base, it's pretty special. Yeah, it was awesome.
Now, after baseball, what do you guys do now for jobs and whatnot?
I'm a dad.
That is certainly a job.
Married. First and foremost, I have a couple businesses in the financial services industry, and honestly, I attribute a lot of the success that I have to my parents and what I learned out on the baseball field. So it's been a good ride, and I certainly look back at these days as growing years for me, and I translate that to my business success as well.
Great.
Nice. Yeah, it's awesome. I echo that completely. Family first. You know, it's just such a strong upbringing that I had with my family. They were great. But I do medical device sales now. I work in the Boston area. I'm a dad, proud dad of a 3-year-old and one on the way. And baseball and sports and whatever you're into, it gives you a lot of great experience in the big world, in the workforce. So, yeah, I love it, and very thankful.
I mean, I can't say anything else that they haven't said. It's very true that, you know, the family upbringing and the tools that the game has taught us definitely carries over into the real world, into life. It helps you deal with the adversities life brings you, and you know, it's pretty special if you really look at it and take it in. And that's helped me through my accident, and since I went through some therapy, a couple years of therapy, and I just graduated from University of Louisiana Lafayette in accounting, so I'll be sitting for the CPA exam and hopefully joining the real world, I guess, after putting it off as long as I did. So that's what's next for me.
Yeah.
So that's where we're headed, and hopefully to good things.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
It's
us.
such a
No
pleasure
problem.
having you
Thank
guys
you.
here.
Thank you guys.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Newport Gulls 2015 Family Reunion Weekend. I'm Blair Schneider here with Alexa Shola and Gabe and Vito, who played with the Gulls in 2002. Welcome.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So, talk about the process of you becoming a Gull.
I was playing at University of Richmond, and we had 4 guys on our team that Chuck Pava came down and he saw us play a few games and asked if we'd all love to come up and play for Newport. And so it was a lot easier when you had a few players, a few friends that were going to come up at the same time. We were playing in the regionals and the super regionals still, so we got here late. But I didn't know much about the team or about the town. It was my 3rd year, so I was already a junior, so I'd played summer ball before. But after talking to Chuck and hearing about how they'd won it the year before and they were really trying to build a championship team, we were very interested in coming, and so all 4 of us wound up coming to play.
Similar deal. I didn't know really much about the Newport at the time. I was at Kansas State University. Chuck called me in the fall. I was in my junior year, just like Vito, and I fell in love with Chuck and just the family atmosphere that he sold and just promoted, and wanted to be a part of it. And a teammate of mine, Mitch Walter, at the time, he and myself came out and played in 2002 on these guys. So yeah, great.
Great. Do you guys have a favorite memory from your time in Newport, either on the field or off the field?
Well, we have a lot of memories on the field. Off the field, I don't know if we should share those. Right now. I don't know if that's yeah, we'll probably keep those. I mean, we were 21 and hanging out in Newport, Island. So, but on the field, a lot of great memories, and I think that's what's unique about Newport. I was just talking down there with a couple of people, and it's a team that you play for 2 months on, but you develop relationships and memories that lasted a lifetime in 2 months. And I think that's the special part about playing for the Gulls, and playing with guys like Gabe, Bergie, Rusty, buddies that I had in Richmond. Those are things that stayed with us even 13 years later, and I think that's why we have such a great showing here tonight. Yeah, because we have so many of those guys.
13 years have passed, and we're all still coming back.
Right.
And that says a lot about the organization, with the management, ownership, the family, everything about it. It's a class act, top to bottom. There's no other team like it. That's why people come back.
Yeah, it's a great place.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of you guys. You're all from different schools. You come from different backgrounds. How difficult is it to play as a team together?
You're kind of used to it when, through recruiting, you go on your team, everybody's from around the country anyways, at the team you play with or that you go to college with. I think the hard part is how do you, in college, you have 4 years to figure out a way to kind of learn to play with one another. And in summer ball, it's
6 weeks.
Here you go.
Right.
Let's play some baseball.
You have such a short time span to do all that.
Yeah, it's great though. I mean, it was really a pleasure getting to see some of the better players from around the country, and be able to play with these guys. Sometimes you would play against them during the regular season, and now you're teammates.
Right.
Or they might be playing in the NECBL, and you're playing against guys that you used to play against during the college season. And so I think that was the fun of it. And then following guys after their careers, who got drafted, who's playing pro ball. I remember seeing guys in pro ball who I played with, either with or against when I was in the NECBL. And so I think that's what makes it such a special thing. And baseball is a brotherhood. It's a fraternity anyway. So, and that was a special group. That 2002 team was special.
Yeah, and it was fun. Those guys were at Nebraska playing in a super regional. So we were playing, 2 or 3 weeks into the season?
Yeah.
We were 2 or 3 weeks into the season, keeping up with guys that we hadn't even met yet, but we knew they were, coming down on their way to Newport. And so when they arrived, it was like we already kind of knew who they were. So everybody kind of finds their way, and you fit together, and over that 2 month span, it's amazing how close you can become with one another.
Yeah, a lot of the guys have been saying that.
Knowing you guys were with the organization in the beginning and seeing how it's developed over the past 15, 13, 14 years, how does it feel to be part of an organization such as the Newport Gulls?
I can't really put into words how special it is now to see what these guys have done since we left. When we were here, when we started, they won in 01, but 02 was really only the second year of the team. And we didn't know what it was going to become. But now I talk to the current players, talked to a few of them over the last 2 days, and I hear that they come here to win as well. It's not just another summer ball team. And I think that's what's really special about what's happened here. Right. They want to take the legacy that we kind of started, and they've been building upon that. And for them to win 6 championships and be successful year in and year out, it's special. It makes me feel proud to have been a part of it.
Summer ball is it's a given in college baseball. You're going to play, and a lot of guys, just like Vito was saying, you have a place you're going to go for the summer, and it's just a place. I'm going to go play baseball for a couple months before I get back to school and try to compete and get my spot or get better at the spot I already have. Newport's a place you come, and it's exactly like you said, it's a family. And when we started, it was kind of new, and over the years, it's been incredibly special to watch how that family has just grown. And now it's players, you know, the ownership no longer has to go and recruit players. Coaches call Newport and say, I've got guys that want to come play for you. And
you remember how
amazing.
it was. You played in other leagues. You remember how it was. You know, you wanted to go home. Nobody wanted to make the playoffs in summer baseball. You wanted to go home. You wanted to spend a month at your house before you went back to college.
Yeah.
And we had some of those moments early on. But we had leadership on our team. We had guys who wanted to win, guys who wanted to come together, guys who were on the team the year before, which I thought was very important, that wanted to win and set the tone. And so I think that's the culture that we have here now in Newport, which is it's not just a place where you're going to go and play for yourself to be seen by pro scouts. It's a place where you're going to get seen, but you want to win as a team. And I think that's what's special about this place.
Exactly.
So last question before we wrap it up. Do you have any words of wisdom for the players that you see here tonight?
Words of wisdom. Just enjoy the moment. Live in the now. Don't worry about anything down the road, and just focus on cultivating relationships with the teammates they have, and just focusing on being a better player and becoming a better person.
Great.
Have fun. Have fun. You know, you have a blessed opportunity to play in Newport, Rhode Island, and to play baseball, period. One day somebody's going to take that jersey off your back. And so every baseball player that I come across, I just say, enjoy those moments. Take pride every single day you get to wear that jersey. And if you're doing it in Newport, Rhode Island, you better be having fun. Enjoy it. And I hope these guys are.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot. Pleasure being here.
Yep. We'll have more coming up from our 2015 reunion next.
Welcome back here to the 2015 Newport Gulls Family Reunion. We're here in our Gulls Nest. I'm Hillary Costa, joined alongside my dear friend Meg here. We're interviewing three NECBL champions from last year's 2014 squad. We've got Reed Gamache, Shay Donlan, and Armand Rugel. Shay, first up, you were on the team in 2013 when you weren't able to make it weren't able to win the championship. How did it feel to come back and get redemption?
There's really no sweeter feeling than that, you know, after losing it. All you want to do is get another chance, and it worked out, thankfully, so it was a good deal.
And Armand, you were a crucial part of the team last year, a lights-out closer in the playoffs. What are you up to now in your baseball career?
Had a workout with the Mets, and you know, still looking for some free agent stuff, but you know, just trying to stay in shape. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but hoping it does. You know, keep chasing the dream.
All right, so guys, I just have a couple questions for you. After last year, you guys were, in the beginning, were considered one of the worst teams in the league. How did it feel coming back and making the run in the playoffs, and how did that feel for you guys making the memories?
Reed, you want to go first, buddy?
It was actually pretty cool because we weren't too good. I think it was July, and we kind of struggled.
We had a pretty bad rough patch for a while.
We were terrible.
I don't know, I feel like something clicked. I just remember Coach Coombs coming out for pregame in the Kenny Powers outfit. It kind of just got us going, kind of shook it up a little bit, and I think that kind of was a turning point for us. So
Yeah. I mean,
no, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, Coach Coombs makes it easy for. I mean, he keeps us loose, and you know, he never like got too hard on us for when we were having a rough patch, we were losing and whatnot, and it makes it real easy to go out there and just say, hey, screw it, let's go win this thing.
Yeah, I think late in the year we lost some guys that you know, crucial parts of the team, but that only made us come together more. And all of a sudden we just put it together at the end. And I think we won like, what, 15 of our last 18? Something like that.
What makes the Newport Gulls organization different in whatever way from any other teams that you might have played for in your career?
Definitely the support that we get from the community. I think it's unreal how we get to the field and there's already people there working on the field, just volunteer guys that they just want to be at the field around us. It's just crazy that we get that kind of support.
I would have to say Chuck as well. Chuck's an insanely generous dude, great guy. He'll do anything for you and do anything for the players, and he makes it a real communal and family type of environment, which makes you want to play. And it works, clearly.
Absolutely, I'm gonna have to agree with Reed. The community definitely makes it a lot better. everybody supports you. You go anywhere with Gulls stuff in the town, people are like, oh, how's the team?
Yeah.
You know, how's Chuck doing? Everything like that. So it's definitely good, and you feel like you're actually playing for something.
All right, Jason, so you've been here for the past 3 years. How's it feel seeing players from the past come in, and then also players today that you have and memories you're making?
It's a blast. I mean, I met Jim Murphy. You know, he's a stud Washington State Cougar legend, and also a stud goal, so it's kind of cool meeting him and meeting other guys that have played here in years past, and seeing guys just from a few years ago come back. It's like, I can't even describe it.
And Reed, you've been a part of the organization for as long as you can remember, almost the whole 15 years. How's it feel from being a host family to a player now?
It's crazy, kind of just switching the roles, but just seeing Rusty Begno tonight, just hanging out, and I just remember being 8 years old, he'd go out in the backyard and play catch with me, and that's something I always remember, so I try to bring that to my family now, and it's a great thing to be a part of.
And Armand, you were the same. You grew up here in Middletown. You were a host family, right?
I wasn't a host family, but I was a grounds crew worker for about 4 years. So I've been here for a while. So it's good to be back, or it was good to be back. It's still good to be back.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. Reed and Shay, good luck this season. We hope you bring us another ring.
That's the goal.
And we'll be right back here on the Newport Gulls 2015 Family Reunion Weekend.
Welcome back. Here is our coverage of the Newport Gulls 15th anniversary and Hot Stove Gala. Family reunion continues. Nick Lehman and Hillary Costa now joined by two of the Newport Gulls' best power hitters in team history, both first basemen, both from different eras in Gulls history. We have Jim Murphy, the 2006 MVP, a two-time Gull, 2005 and 2006, and Steve Anderson, another two-time Gull. Played on the 2012 championship team and returned again to Newport in 2013. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. So, what have you been up to lately? What's been going on in your lives?
Who goes first? I just got done playing in the Philadelphia Phillies organization. I played 7 years with them. Finished last season in AAA with Philadelphia, Lehigh Valley. That was 2014 season. I'm now a residential mortgage broker up in Seattle, Washington.
So, your experience in professional baseball coming up, from the moment you left collegiate ball to AAA, how would you sum it up? How would you look back on it and think about it?
I mean, it was a blast, man. I mean, such a great time. We traveled all over the East Coast. Our hubs were in New Jersey. They were in Florida and 2 spots in Pennsylvania. 3 spots, actually, if you count your short season A-ball team as well. So it was an experience, went all up and down the East Coast. Had a great time, met a lot of great people all over the country, all over the world. I got buddies from Australia, all over the country, Bahamas, so a couple cats in Europe. I mean, just a lot of dudes from all over the country, and we got to travel around, play ball, and do it a lot longer than most people would. So it was a pleasure, it was fun, it was a great experience.
Steve, where has life taken you since the Gulls in 2013?
Yeah, so I actually graduated from Georgetown last June. So since then, I've been doing management consulting in DC. So unfortunately, didn't get the chance to play professional baseball, but I've been pretending to be a real person for a little while now. And I would trade it all in to do another summer here in Newport. But it's awesome to be back. See a lot of alums like Jim, and meet a lot of different people from the Gulls organization. So it's been a fun ride so far.
Now, both of your names still appear in the Newport Gulls record book to this day for various records offensively. You both had the opportunity to play at Cardines Field. Steve for 2 full seasons, Jim for 1 season plus. What does it take to be a good hitter at Cardines? There's almost no foul territory. The fences are high, but they're not very far away. What approach does it take?
Yeah, I think it's just barrel accuracy. I mean, the more barrels you can put on a baseball, the more success you're going to have. I think a lot of guys get kind of caught up in, I got to really use my body to generate power, and you can figure out early that you don't have to do more than you already know how to do, and you just try to barrel balls with a wood bat, they're going to go even further. I think a lot of young hitters that start to use wood bats for the first time really try to use their body to generate power, and I was always pretty fortunate. I was kind of a handsy kind of hitter, and all I tried to do when I played was get a barrel on the baseball, and I was big enough to use my power.
I completely agree with Jim. I know that once you first started playing at Cardines, I think you're a lefty too.
I wish.
You're a righty. That makes it a little different for him, but being a big lefty, you come into Cardines, you see right field, 300 feet away, you're like, He's going to pop them over there, every day. But you start thinking that you're pulling off balls and you really get away from your approach, like Jim said. And if you're really just concentrating on barreling balls, look the other way and then just turn in, use the hands, like Jim said. That's how you have success anywhere, but especially being a lefty, you have a lot of success in Guardians.
Steve, you were a two-time Gull, champion in 2012 and came back in 2013. It's really rare to see guys come back to teams 2, now maybe 3 years. What do you think it is about the Gulls where we have so many players come back year after year to serve their summer college term?
I think it really speaks to the quality of the organization. The day I got here until the day I left, I was treated with the utmost love, and really everyone from my host family to Chuck and all the owners. There's no real better experience in summer baseball. When you start to go in it, and I was talking to some of the current guys now, and it's just hard to put into words how special it is until you actually pass and you come back. You see the guys that are currently here, but it's just it's an amazing place to play summer baseball. You meet some great people along the way, and it made a lot of sense to come back for me.
Finally, Jim, Steve, what was your favorite memory of Guardians Field at the plate?
I got some MVP chants late on in the playoff game. That was pretty sweet. I enjoyed that a lot.
Silkworms.
What's that?
That was against the Manchester
Yeah, it was.
Silkworms.
It was at home against the Silkworms. I had some MVP chants. I came up with a big hit, scored a game-winning run. That was pretty cool.
It didn't happen at Guardians, but once we won the 2012 championship, getting that ring, getting the police escort back into Newport, hanging out with the guys that night, going over the Black Pearl was pretty cool. So, just that whole experience winning it and then being named #1 in the entire country, it just topped off an amazing summer. So that was pretty cool.
That's better than mine.
Both pretty cool. I didn't get an MVP.
That's a lot better than mine.
That's pretty cool.
Steve Anderson, Jim Murphy, you were both heroes at Guardians Field for many fans and for broadcasters too. You both made your mark in Gulls history. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Our coverage continues on our Newport Gulls Alumni Reunion next.
Welcome back for our 2015 Alumni Reunion weekend here at the Newport Marriott. I'm Blair Schneider with Meg Kirby and Pat McKierney, who played for the Gulls in 2006 and was part of a fabulous pitching staff. Pat was part of a combined no-hitter with the 2006 Gulls. Can you take us through that experience?
Sure. One of the most amazing teams that I've ever been a part of. And the feeling of always having the support behind you, especially knowing that I could go out and do my job. Started that game and pitched well, but without the support behind us from the defense and the offense, that game would have never been the same. And that team as a whole, by far, was one of the best, funnest teams I've ever played on. And just being, like I said, go out there and know you can do your job, and it all worked out. So it was great. Yeah.
Awesome. As you were talking about, we were talking earlier about your host families. How was it being with the host family and the whole family unison here at the Newport Gulls?
That by far was one of the most incredible experiences I've had playing baseball at any level. They made that transition from a college student in a dorm to a host family so smooth, and they really made the experience the complete package for me. From the baseball was amazing and great, but being able to enjoy the outside experience with the host family was hands down one of the funnest and most memorable experiences I've ever had.
And I know you were part of the no-hitter, and you had a great host family. Do you have any other memories that really stand out from your time in Newport?
I didn't really have much experience with host families coming here, and so mine was great, but all the other host families were spectacular. I got really close to Chuck Pave and his family, and they really showed me Newport. They showed me this amazing town, the history, being a history buff myself. This was one of the most incredible places I've ever visited. So being able to experience Newport, not just baseball, but the actual town and culture, it really made probably the best summer I've ever had. It was right here in Newport.
Going off of your experiences in Newport, what were some of the things that you did while you were here in Newport?
I think I did a lot of just the normal touristy stuff, the mansions, Bowen's Wharf. We went out to a couple state parks from the Civil War or the Revolutionary War era. Just the sightseeing and the history was pretty spectacular. I think Guardians Field. That's historic in itself, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the oldest ballparks in America.
Yeah.
And it's getting some new renovations soon, hopefully. So
that's going to be pretty spectacular. I'm excited to come back. This is my first time, unfortunately, since I played to come back. But I think it's going to become a more of a tradition to see what's going on here.
And Pat, you played some professional ball.
Yeah.
And how did your experiences in Newport help prepare you for your time in professional baseball?
So in college at the University of Washington, we played with metal bats. Coming here, we play with wood. It really made me think about how to pitch, being a pitcher, to wood bats, which is a different experience. So being able to pitch to those hitters who are some of the best in the country, who I inevitably probably played against in professional baseball, being able to throw to them with wood bats was pretty spectacular. Yeah.
Also, going off of everything, how do you think this event went so far? How was it like seeing all the players from your years and even years past and to get today?
Hearing the same stories about incredible host families, the town, really makes you realize that it wasn't just my year that was like that. It's the history of the program that really is amazing. And being able to talk to those guys about their experiences, they've had the same kind of successes. It's pretty spectacular to be able to talk with them. And this event went off without a hitch. Chuck is an amazing speaker. We'll let him go off all the time, but this is a great time, and it's been a pleasure to come back.
And one more question. Do you have any advice for current players on the Gulls or players that would like to be interested in playing with the Gulls?
I think work extremely hard in your college teams. Become that next level guy with some tenacity and passion about the games. I know Mike Coombs, that's what he looks for as a manager, someone with passion about the game. He and I, we got into it, from a passionate level, always on the same side. We love that about guys, and to be passionate about the game is what they look for, I think.
Okay, well, thank you, Pat, for your time.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you back. Hi, I'm Blair Schneider here with Jim Murphy who played with the Gulls in 2005 and 2006, and his host dad, Ron Westmoreland. Ron, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you.
So, Jim stayed with you in 2005 and 2006. Do you have any specific memories of him? What was it like when you first met him?
It was a thrill, actually. He was a pretty touted player from Washington State that we always look for good character guys to come here in Newport, and we'd known that about Jim. Not just that he was a really good player, but he was a really good person. So for a host family, that experience is important to us, especially when we had a couple young kids at the time, and one was a promising baseball player. So whenever you can have your children around people like Jim Murphy, it's always an asset. And we had a lot of great memories. 2 years, one was a little bit shorter than the other because of an injury, but just tremendous amount of memories together, and really happy for how his career turned out, and it's great to see him back here in Newport again.
Thank you. And Jim, what was it like staying with a host family? Had you stayed with a host family before, or was this a new experience for you?
No, that was actually the first time we stayed with host families. Coming to Newport in 2005 was my first time. I'd heard great things about coming to Newport. I actually knew Richie Lentz, who stayed with the Westmorelands beforehand. He was also from Seattle. He went to Washington and went to Washington State. He told me great stories about the Westmorelands. Like, dude, you'll love it. They have this pool in the back, like this batting cage. Ron will throw you BP all the time. He loves it. So that was the first time I got to stay with the host family, but I couldn't have been happier. It was a great, great time. A lot of good stories, as Ronnie said. We had some really fun breakfast table discussions that we'll keep between us, but we had a really nice time. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. During your time with the Gulls, do you have any favorite memories? Is there any, between your 2 seasons, there one particular memory that stood out to you during your time here?
I just think like the travel with the boys. I mean, it's kind of the snapshot into minor league baseball, and kind of looking back now is what the Gulls season was. Is like you played 6-7 days a week. We got to travel by bus. We got to play in fun stadiums. I mean, playing in Newport was awesome. It was kind of like a really good, look into what minor league baseball was like. I got a chance to play 7 years in the Phillies organization, and I think that helped prepare me a lot. Like, you're playing wood bats, you're playing 6 days a week, you're traveling by bus, you're hanging with the boys, you're staying in different places, you're trying to figure out, where you're going to stay next week, what you're going to eat, and it was a good time. I mean, we had a really fun time. We come down to Newport, and Chuck and Ronnie and these guys took care of us. It was awesome. I mean, I think the camaraderie was really fun, meeting guys from all over the country.
Do you still talk to any of your teammates, or is this reunion a chance for you to regain contact with some of them?
A little bit of both. I talked to the UW guys and the Washington State guys a lot. I talked to a couple guys from Pittsburgh, like Paul Nardozzi, through text every now and then. I talked to other guys that I met after playing summer in Newport that actually played for different teams. They're like, oh, you're in the NACBL. I played for Manchester. I was like, oh, no kidding. Like, oh, awesome. Like, a buddy of mine, Gerard Heron, plays in New Jersey. And I know him really well through NACBL and relationships we built after that. So it's just a big connection. It's a big family. It's a pool of people that get together over the same thing. And for me, I was lucky to be in Newport.
And I heard from someone over here told me that you were inducted into the Newport Gulls Hall of Fame. What was that experience like for you? When did you find out, and could you take us through a little bit what that was like for you?
Yeah, I found out, God, I want to say right around January of 2012. And I was honored. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I mean, some of the other guys were getting inducted were big league players, and I felt honored to be a part of that. I was able to come. I was living in Jersey at the time. I was able to come up and spend the weekend up here. And loved the video. I mean, Ronnie had a hell of a tribute for me, which is hilarious at the time for a couple different reasons. And I was a Washington State Cougar, and that was a part of it. So we really had a good time together. Had a fun weekend. I hadn't seen Ronnie since '06, so it was great to see them and the family, and it was honor. It was a real honor.
Okay. Well, thank you both for your time.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Blair Schneider, and I'm here with Steve Anderson, who played with the Gulls in 2012 and 2013. Steve, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. This is a great event and a lot of old friends, so it's awesome to be back in Newport.
And you played with the Gulls in 2012 and 2013, so have you stayed in contact with any of the players from those two teams?
Yeah, actually, it's been pretty interesting because the teams I've had in Newport are really stay really close, throughout the years, even afterwards. You see them playing during college ball. But I mean, I stay up with these guys. We have a bunch of group texts, so we stay in contact quite a bit, actually. So it's been pretty awesome.
That's good. So even though this reunion, I mean, I'm sure you'll get to meet a lot of other former players as well. Have you talked to any other former players recently about their experiences in Newport and compared it to yours?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. We've seen a lot of guys from like the 01, 02, or very early years, and I'm one of the most recent, I guess, alumni to come back. So it's really been cool to see their experience. 01, 02, they've won a lot and really established kind of a dynasty here, and it's been interesting to see what their experience was compared to mine. But everyone that I've met so far has been awesome. They're obviously very talented baseball players, but even better people. So that's been cool.
And you won the championship in 2012. Is that one of your favorite memories, or is there something else that stands out beside that?
I mean, winning the 2012 championship, being named the #1 summer collegiate team was pretty. It really just capped the entire summer. From the moment I got here, beginning of 2012 to 2013, it was just, great experience on top of great experience. And, for my host family, just if you roll it all into one, all the fans here, the community, it's hard to pinpoint one thing and say that was the best. But winning the championship, bringing back the Faye Vincent Cup back to Newport was pretty special.
And is there something off the field? Are there any fun experiences that you would suggest to new players or current players of the Gulls, something that they should do around the island or in Rhode Island in general?
I mean, I know that I hung out with Chuck a lot outside of the actual game. So I mean, just really getting to know the other players on the team and really spending time with them. I know a couple people went skydiving last year. A lot of people go golfing. So I mean, there's so many things to do in Newport. It's hard because baseball takes up so much of your time, but I really just encourage them to get out and do as much as they can while they're here.
Okay, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me.
I'm Blair Schneider here with Mike Bolander, who played with the Gulls in 2000 and 2001 and was part of their first championship team. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
How is it to be back in Newport? Is this your first time back, or have you been back previously?
This actually is my first time back in Newport since I played here, and it feels great. Seeing a lot of the guys that I played with, seeing a lot of the beach and my host family's house and just the ballpark kind of brings back all those memories. And I had a great summer here, so they were all happy memories and that I enjoyed.
Do you have a favorite memory, something that stands out in particular?
Well, aside from winning the championship, obviously, favorite memories. I won the home run derby when I was here and at the All-Star game, and that was fun, obviously. But I think winning the championship probably tops it for me.
And you stayed with the host family here. How was that experience for you?
I think I was a little apprehensive at first. My first year with the Gulls, we stayed at Roger Williams College in Cranston. The following year, we moved to Newport, and yeah, I mean, you're living with strangers, and but the people that I stayed with, Todd and Susan Haig, were gracious, and they were really nice. Took care of me, and by the second month, it was almost like I was their child. So it was a nice experience.
And have you stayed in touch with any of the players that you played with, or is this reunion really a chance for you to reconnect with some of those guys?
I haven't. I'm friends with some of them on Facebook, but I haven't seen a lot of these guys in 14 years since we last played together and won a championship. So it's amazing, the memories, and you see them, and your memories jogged of something that happened 14 years ago, and because you spend a lot of time together, you pick up on each other's idiosyncrasies, and but it's fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm meeting new players that played after me, and we share some of the same experiences. So yeah, it's nice.
Do you have any advice for the new players that are on the team now?
Advice: have fun. I mean, this is. I look back on my time here, and it was one of the greatest periods of my life. The experiences, winning championships, meeting new people, and continuing my baseball career. I would say just have fun, enjoy it, because it's going to be over, in a blink of an eye, and you'll just have memories to be an old man like me.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Welcome back here one final time, the Newport Gulls 15th anniversary family reunion here at the Newport Marriott. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight. It has been a really special evening, and we're glad that you're able to come along and join us for this incredible ride. One final time, Nick Lehman alongside Hillary Costa, along with Blair Schneider, Alexa Schola, and Megan Kirby. Hillary, tonight was a very special event for the Gulls.
It really was. You could feel the energy in the room. Everyone was just so emotional. It became almost cathartic, the way that everybody just came together and realized that tradition never changes in Newport. Chuck talked about it in his announcements tonight. Back in 2001, when they really took over the team, they talked about a buy-in when they moved to Newport from Cranston. And I think the buy-in really happened here across the years, across the 15 years we've had. Blair?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up coming to Gulls games since the beginning, and being able to interview players that have been, I interviewed someone that has been here, Mike Boland, who was here in 2000, and then he was with the team in 2001 and won the first championship for the Gulls. And just being able to see players that I watched growing up and see them all here today, it was really special to be a part of this.
I really like the fact that all the players basically shared a common opinion about how they really turned into a family, even though they were just here for a few short weeks in the summer. But it was deeper than that. It was deeper than just playing baseball. It was deeper than just playing in front of fans. They really developed a brotherhood, and I thought that was really special to hear throughout. And hopefully the players that we have now can pass that on and continue the brotherhood.
I agree with both Alexa and Blair. Tonight was a spectacular night. You got to see a lot of new faces and old faces for the Gulls. You got to bring around the 2015 team and the older from the beginning, and it was amazing to see how they both connected and talked to each other and learned from each other. You don't see that many oftentimes for a team or an organization to come together as one and celebrate something that's so special. You could see it throughout the whole night. I saw current players talking to host families that used to be host families. They were just everything and learning from each other. It was amazing. And seeing host families reunite with their old players, it was amazing. And you could definitely see how spectacular this night was for us.
This event was a year in the making. Newport Gulls General Manager, President and Owner Chuck Pava, along with his ownership group, Chris Patsos, Mark Horan, Greg Fader, and Robert Smallin, were all instrumental in supporting us, along with the Gulls operations staff, particularly Alex Dresser and Ryan Laureat. I'd like to thank them all for helping us out, getting tonight's event coordinated, and we'll thank our crew in just a moment. But before we do that, Hillary, a final word for you here this evening.
I think on top of what all of our players and coaches and Gulls family have said here tonight, I think we've proven that the Newport Gulls is a model organization for summer collegiate baseball across the country, and will continue to be that way. Gulls are approached all over the country. We're on a national stage in Major League Baseball, and we're also on a national stage when it comes to operations and media relations. So kudos to all of them, and we're hoping to see really great things from them going forward in the future.
Newport Gulls have always been an organization of firsts. They're the first team in league history to win 4, 5, and then 6 NECBL championships. They were the first. For the first time, the Gulls have held a major mid-season event. We saw not just 14 prior seasons of Gulls alumni here tonight, but the entire 2015 squad here as well. And they have plenty more memories yet to be written. plenty of more great plays surely to be made at Cardines Field and all around the NECBL, and a dozen ballparks in this league for the next month and a half to come. And our incredible broadcast team will continue to provide that coverage all summer long. Let's pause a moment and thank those who made tonight's special presentation of the Newport Gulls Family Reunion possible. Our executive producer of Newport Gulls Baseball, Tom Lima. Our on-site engineer, Rob Sanchez. Gulls Baseball produced tonight by Shannon Carlson. And a very special thanks, once again, to Steve Rice, who, without his technical expertise as our incredible producer, incredible engineer, incredible designer of all that has allowed us to bring you Newport Gulls Baseball over the last 15 years. Without Steve Rice, we would not have Gulls Baseball broadcast the way we do today. And I'd like to thank Steve for joining us yet again here tonight. He's been with us since 2004, helping us whenever we call upon him. For Blair Schneider, Alexa Schola, Megan Kirby, and Hillary Costa, I'm Nick Lima, here at the Marriott, right across the street from Cardines Field, where the Gulls will be back in action in about 36 hours. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and so long, everybody.